How long? What's happening, guys? Welcome to Wake Up Barstool. It is Friday, and we got some preseason football to break down. We got Bruce Feldman stopping by the show later, Brock Huard. It's the finale of our summer sandwich series. We got film as we celebrate running quarterbacks. We got a lot to get to, another TBH as well as the end of the show, so let's get it started right now on FS1. Woo!
Good start to the day.
The vibes are incredibly high. What's happening, everybody? Welcome in. It is a Friday crew. We got Chief Dana Beers, Michael Kadick, Megan Making Money hanging out with you this morning. Very excited. Football's in the air, guys. How's everyone feeling this weekend?
Fantastic.
So good.
Yeah.
So many Hoosiers on the scene last night.
It's true.
Just seeing so much football on the TV gets me tingly, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Real
feels
tingly.
good. It feels good.
I'm excited.
And last night, I think, as always during preseason, the story is young quarterbacks, right? Whether they're brand new, like Fernando Mendoza, Drew Allar, or even like an Anthony Richardson, a guy who has had not the career he's hoping for up to this point, but, maybe there's still some potential left there. Mikey, let's start with your hero, Fernando. Last night, he gets his first action with the Raiders. How did you feel like he did?
I mean, I felt like he played pretty well. He has some zip on his ball. I tweeted that out last night. Like, he's just got, this thing flies out of his hands. The fake, just like little stuff like the fake he drew out when he threw that long pass over the middle. And then obviously the touchdown pass. And did you see how excited he was when he got that touchdown?
That made
He's just
me
leaping into the arms of all the offensive linemen.
He looked a bit, which is in keeping with his personality is sincere. It's not a put on. Yeah. But yeah, after he throws the touchdown, which is excellent placement, low to Jack Besh.
Yes.
You can see him overwhelmed with excitement.
So excited.
He's like it's bubbling over, and you can see him kind of hopping like a little kid. Oh, he looks like
he really is zipping that thing.
Yeah, he is zipped, dude.
Well, yeah. I mean, look, that's no surprise. I guess.
Sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like the questions people had: how do you do under center? How would he? The speed of the NFL game's obviously a jump. I thought he looked very composed.
He did string out a play that he didn't need to string out, and he got whopped at the end. So he's got to learn that kind of stuff. Like, just get rid of the ball. You don't need to take a hit from these guys. Like, you could take a hit from a guy from Kennesaw State last year, but, like, don't take a hit from an NFL defensive lineman. But, no, I think you give him a couple weeks behind Kirk Cousins, especially when the regular season starts, and then I think you give him a shot, week 6 through 8-ish, maybe.
I don't know. Again, they may go the super patient route. Probably not, because he's the number 1 overall pick. But either way,
he looked good though.
Chief, I feel like with what I saw last night at Mendoza, if I was a Raiders fan, I'd be pleased.
Yeah, and you would expect him to do all like the little things that he can prepare for and do those well and do them on time because he's such a student. And he did. Like, he didn't look out of place, and I think you just don't want your young quarterback to look overwhelmed. He looked pretty good. He looked like he belonged.
He ripped one throw between the linebacker and safety and the seam a little bit. That was throw of the night. That was really impressed from the end zone copy. And then I thought there was kind of a funny college learning moment where he dominated back shoulder in college, right? Like Indiana used it to a T, and you can see that the NFL windows are just they're just infinitesimal because he does it just like he did in college, and it was a great throw, and it would have worked, only it's just as perfect a coverage as you could actually get from the DB. So Fernando, in his debut, he shines, but maybe the story of the night was Drew Allar.
Shocking.
Pittsburgh. Dana, how about it?
To say the least.
Man, I was going to ask you guys around the room a little bit, how much stock do you put into a performance like this? Because he looked awesome. And we always have these conversations about whether it's summer league or preseason or whatever it may be. Do you put a lot of stock into something like this when a guy goes out and just kind of shines when it's not exactly against starters?
So it's not against starters, But, I mean, I guess to like draw on personal experience, the preseason game, I played in 4 preseason games, played in national championships, all this stuff in college. Like, that was the most nerve-wracking football I've ever played in my entire life.
Yeah.
Like, there weren't that many fans there.
Yeah.
The vets don't care. They're chilling. They got hats on.
It's your life.
But
Yeah,
it is
you're
your
fighting
life
for a
on the
job.
line.
Yeah.
And, like, if you're Drew Aller, college didn't end how you wanted it to. The last time we saw you, you went out with a whimper, not a bang. And for him to come out last night, and you can't control your opponent, but you can always try to be better than who's ever put in front of you.
Right.
And for him to do what he did last night, no, I mean, there's no way that's a negative. Now, I don't know if I'm fully here with Jerry yet about him being the future, but like, does anybody in this room think less of Drew Aller after last night?
No.
Absolutely not.
No, you think more.
Right, 100%.
Now, this just reminds me kind of the Patriots when, I forget his name, Malik Cunningham. Remember Malik Cunningham from Louisville?
Yes.
Yeah.
He had a couple preseason games where he looked like the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yeah.
And now he's, what, in the CFL somewhere? All due respect to the CFL. But these are the Pittsburgh fans in my life, even before this game, have been gassing him up pretty well, like saying he might be the guy, just what they've seen from camp. So I don't know. Maybe he is the guy.
He was so hyped up in college where
Yeah.
it's like he was on the Heisman watch list. And then, you're waiting for him to like take that step. And it felt like he was always going backwards. I think it was it the Notre Dame game where he did not complete a pass to a wide receiver?
Yeah.
Like, he had some
They had some crazy
Yeah.
numbers like that. Like at one point, did he complete his pass in the second half, I think, in a big game.
Yeah. So it's just like he never performed the way that you expected a guy with that talent to. Maybe he just has like a reset now. He can get out of like the whole Penn State.
So, okay, I think to me, last night's performance reawakened a take in me from years ago that I kind of thought long dead, which was 2 years ago when Allar had a very good statistical season. He had like 26 tuds, so I think like only 1 pick. My opinion was that is a red flag, only throwing the 1 pick, because it shows that Penn State was just completely risk averse.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't empowered to push the ball down the field. He wasn't empowered to kind of play free. He was being forced and kind of held back and constrained. And we knew he had all the physical tools, right? That's been one of the things that people have always pointed to. But yeah, I mean, there's an argument to be made that maybe Franklin and company were kind of putting the governor on him and holding it back. And maybe now it's a better NFL coaching. Like, again, there's no way you emerge from last night and don't feel better about what you saw out of Drew Aller.
Now, Kadek, as a Steelers fan, would you prefer to see one of these younger guys like Will Howard or Drew Aller?
Eventually in the season, like with Fernando, like, I don't know. I liked Will Howard going into last night. Now I might be going with Aller.
Right.
But I don't know.
But if Rodgers is healthy, who do you want to play all year?
You just got to give Rodgers. Like, he knows Mike McCarthy well. They played together. And he's got great weapons. Like Michael Pittman coming in from the Colts is huge. Obviously DK Metcalf. And then that kid last night, Jeremy Bernard from Alabama.
Yeah, Jeremy's good.
He played out of his mind. I think he has great weapons around him. You got Darnell Washington.
Yeah,
Big boy. Giant animal. So I don't know. If it were to be someone though, other than Rodgers, I think I'd want Aller.
Also, as a Steelers fan, how long or what needs to happen for you to just be completely out on Rodgers? Like, how long do you think it's going to take? What will it take to be like, I'm done?
What do we see here?
Because this is a pretty friendly first nine.
I mean, up into the bye week, I think we could win, I don't know, 6 out of those 8.
Yeah.
And then, what do you?
6-2.
That's a pretty easy schedule.
6, but
I think we could beat the Browns twice. We could.
To Chief's point, it's the Steelers. 5. Maybe it would be like.
Maybe.
Are you going to go
5-3.
5-3?
Who are we kidding? They're going to be 9-8.
4-4.
They're going to be 9-8.
That's just how but that's Mike Tomlin's Steelers. Like they're going to squeeze out 6 of those 8. I don't know.
But I feel like the Colts were so good until they had the injuries last year. We don't really know what they are.
Patriots will be good.
Burrow will probably still be healthy at that point in the year.
It's true.
Patriots are coming out of the Super Bowl.
You got the NFC South champs.
Saints and Bucks are solid. Like, I don't know. I'm not like
The steel curtain, though.
bro. You know what? You're right. Yeah.
Going two for
So I don't know if maybe we go. Say we win 4 of those games and Rodgers throws, 5 picks. I think you give Allar or Howard a shot.
The problem with Rodgers is, again, he's just completely limited. He doesn't want to get hit.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to push the ball downfield.
Right.
He can't run.
Right.
And then you have these 2 giant, strapping young lads sitting behind him. Speaking of giant, strapping young lads, though, Anthony Richardson back on the scene last night for the Indianapolis Colts. Remember, he's coming off of one of the more odd injuries that we've ever heard of. He was doing a rubber band workout in the locker room, and it snapped back, hit him in the eye. He had to have surgery, missed all of last year. He's back in action last night, played quite a bit, and
That's just such bad luck.
yeah, it's bad.
That's terrible. I mean, how
Exact-
many times have you guys been in there stretching with rubber bands and it just not hit you in the eye?
Kadick was stretching
All
with
of
a
them.
rubber band the other day, and Ella pantsed him, and his underwear came down as well.
Oh no.
Yeah, just flashing meat, middle of the gym.
Anyways.
First girl to ever see that.
Tough look.
Anyways.
No, but
guys
look,
are
Richardson,
together now.
though, I thought, okay, here's my deal with Anthony Richardson. I would never be willing to commit to him as an every down quarterback. Use the top 5 pick on him, though. This guy could be a red zone demon.
Yeah, like you said. Like, I mean, he's just an extra athlete out there. I mean, that can throw the ball really well. Like, run a QB counter, run a QB trap with him down on the red area, down at the goal line, and he's a monster.
It's like we're going to break down a lot of QB run in the crawlers next segment, and it's going to show what it does, right? You add a member of the offense to the attack. Like, you gain a man advantage, and you can really affect the offense in a lot of ways. Like, in a world where Taysom Hill exists and had so much success with the New Orleans Saints, the Colts would be leaving money on the table if they don't create entire sub packages in the red area for Anthony Richardson.
I agree, but if I'm a Colts fan, that would frustrate me. That my top 5 pick is now becoming Taysom Hill.
Yeah, but again, you gotta are you gonna live in regret and let that kind of ruin the present? Are you gonna accept that you messed up and that we have to get some value?
Yeah.
We have to get some value here.
You
And when
can
you
see it,
drafted him,
though.
you knew the risk.
Right. You see it, and I mean, we just showed a highlight where he's so powerful and he's so fast for his size. So it's like, you're right. He could be used in certain packages and he could be used for certain goal line plays or whatever it may be. But to me, it's like, that's ultimately disappointing if that's what he's going to be used for.
It is, and I just like Taysom Hill is I think the exception to the rule. The guy who's going to drive you 80 yards, get you into a scoring position, you're going to sub him out to run a gimmick offense. I just feel like you're taking your best and most important player off the field at a critical point to put in a gadget thing.
But you can handle this a million different ways. You can keep Daniel Jones on the field. You can line Anthony Richardson up at running back. You can line him up at tight end. Like, you can get as creative as your brain is willing to. And again, Sean Payton in New Orleans did lay out the blueprint for things that can be done. So, and also, like, Chief, I like Daniel Jones. Love Indiana Jones, right? I was one of the premier Danny Dimes guys last year.
You were.
But he is not taking Patrick Mahomes off the field.
Yeah,
He is
fair,
not
fair.
taking Caleb Williams off the field.
That's fair.
Like,
Whoa.
You can justify what?
Caleb Williams is in Mahomes territory?
Well, no, I just couldn't fathom taking Caleb Williams off the
Yes.
I'm saying with Caleb Williams' playmaking ability, taking him out, like taking him
Right.
outfield the red zone would seem absolutely absurd.
Right.
Like when the Saints took Derek Carr out, sure.
Yeah.
Everybody's cool.
Yeah.
That's completely fine. So I don't know. I thought it was a good night for some of the young quarterbacks, and good to have football back. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. Grow up, dude. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool, guys. It's time for a new segment, okay? This is big story or non-story. I think it's kind of self-explanatory. We're gonna hit a few topics, and then we'll engage them too.
All right,
Very
Rhymer.
There's
Shakespeare.
more coming up where that came
All right,
from,
Plato.
fellas.
You don't know Plato? Come on,
I used to
dude.
try to eat Play-Doh.
Yeah, that's what I
Knew that was coming.
Aren't Marcus Aurelius?
Yeah, look.
I thought Marcus Aurelius was
Who was Marcus Aurelius?
the gladiator.
Yeah, but he had
Or
six.
no, Marcus Aurelius was,
Dude, he was an emperor, bro.
yeah, but the gladiator fought under Marcus Aurelius.
Yes, that is
Yes.
true. He's the philosopher emperor at the
Decimus-
beginning
what is
of the
Meridius? I don't know.
Maximus.
He has
Oh,
sick
Maximus
quotes.
Decimus Meridius.
Father
It's
of a
sick
murdered
quotes.
child. Blah blah blah.
Husband to a murdered
Stoicism.
wife.
Yeah.
I will have my vengeance in this
Yeah.
life
Whoa,
or the
Dana.
next.
So are you getting into the Stoics, Dana? You getting into the
Just,
class?
I know my stuff. I know my history.
I know stuff.
Socrates,
meditations?
Aristotle.
Wow.
Yep, dude. It's whatever.
No big deal at all. It's really not a big deal.
All right, let's go ahead and dive in, guys. The first topic of the day. So the Bengals, all the offseason drama as always. Can you protect Joe Burrow? And on the opening drive, this happens. Joe Burrow comes out and gets
line is just
sacked immediately.
line is.
Kind of a coverage sack there, though. We're being honest.
No,
though.
yeah,
There was time there.
he should be getting the ball out, but still, and you could tell every time he gets sacked, he's pissed, man.
Yeah.
like he's just
But I don't think he's pissed at his own. I mean, maybe sometimes, but
I think
it's just
sometimes
like the situation as
he
well.
gives that vibe off.
That pocket collapsed pretty quick.
It did, but you got to get the ball out. You have 2.5 seconds to get the ball out.
My question is this a full starting line?
Yeah.
Probably a
Would you
couple-
put Burrow out there
I was
with
going to say,
backups?
if Burrow's out there, then you're playing the most healthy line you got.
I don't want to say this is I know it's big story or non-story. I'm kind of in the middle. I know that's not the segment, but like, you gotta kind of worry if that's
I
the
would-
first thing you see.
Big story.
Yeah.
I would say it's a
Yeah.
non-story just because we've seen Burrow get sacked so many damn times.
That's true. I mean, look,
Like
213.
it's not like, oh, this is just like, time is a flat circle. Oh, Burrow's getting sacked again.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, of course I would love to see him out there getting the ball out, not getting sacked, but I've seen it so much that it kind of feels like a non-story.
They're wasting him. They have like a great, one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL, and they're wasting him because they can't keep him off his back and keep him healthy.
Yeah, to me, this is a non-story, but the fact that it even makes it into this segment is the story.
Yeah.
Right.
Because it just highlights all the insecurity of Bengals fans and exactly what Chief just said. All right.
But I will say they made it to the Super Bowl with one of the worst offensive lines I've ever seen in my life.
Well, I mean, look,
Was that 5 years ago now? 4 years ago?
His second-
2021.
Yeah.
second
But
year in the league.
it's been a rough couple years for Joe. I mean, he had the year where they didn't make the playoffs 2 years ago, but he played it like an MVP form. It's a testament to how good he is, though, that on all the the tier lists where they talk to like executives, head coaches, all that, he's always top 5.
Yeah.
Even with the injuries, even with some of the team not winning. So yes, that speaks to everybody saying this is a Bengal problem, not a Joe Burrow problem.
I'll always
That's why
remember
no one's
that.
going to wear his number ever again.
I'll
Yeah,
always remember
not
that
LSU.
Super Bowl specifically being in 2021 because I was on a bachelor party and I peed the bed.
It happens to
How
all
many
of us.
times have you done that on a bachelor party, Dana?
Only once.
Okay.
What about the other?
That's
what about
huge.
Number 2.
No. We don't. That's okay. We don't need to bring that to the WUB universe. We'll let Dana exist with a clean sheet there. Speaking of
There's a
things that
bathroom
might
crowd.
make Chief insecure, rumors swirling yesterday. Another update on the Bears heading to Hammond, Indiana. And Chief, yesterday all the smoke was that they might change the name to the Indiana Bears.
Yeah, there was one tweet that said that. It might have been that Divine guy. I don't know.
Yeah, it's
They're
like
not-
Bears Insider, but
Yeah.
I didn't fully trust it.
I don't. And McCaskey did come out and say that yesterday that they're keeping the name no matter where they are. But I'm so tired of the story. If you're from here, you've been hearing about it for, it feels like 6 years now. They shut down the Arlington track a long time ago. There's been no progress made, no shovels in the ground, no timeline for shovels in the ground anywhere. I think it will end up probably being Indiana now. It does feel like the Bears don't want it to be, where it's like, as long as we don't start building, then Arlington's still an option if Illinois gets their act together. But I'm so tired of the story. So it's a non-story because it is happening, but the Indiana Bears thing is not.
Indiana, though, is laying themselves prostrate in front of the Bears. They're giving them like the entire stadium for free. They're giving them everything they want. And Indiana's already starting to victory lap here.
Yeah.
Like they are applying very public pressure to McCaskey and co. that it's already done. It's a done deal. Do you believe it's a done deal today?
I think it's a done deal, but I also, at this point, I almost just want to stay in Soldier. I don't care about having a Super Bowl once every 30 years. I don't care about having the Final Four. I don't care about Beyonce. I want outdoor, lakefront, bare weather, and I know that's impossible. And Soldier Field stinks. I hate Soldier Field. But it's like these other options that they're laying out. They're like, oh, we're going to have a Super Bowl one day. How about just have the team make the Super Bowl? That's all I really care about. I don't care about hosting one. Dana Beers.
Question. Hypothetically, if they do become the Indiana Bears, how will that make you feel? And I'm saying hypothetically,
Would you bail on the team?
would I feel like a good amount of the fan base would they stick around? Well, what goes on if that
What,
happens?
are we going to just not watch football?
Some people
us
would riot.
Get us an expansion team?
They might riot.
What do we do?
Yeah.
No, like I've been on the internet railing against this from day one. It's so like calling them I can't even entertain it.
It's ridiculous.
It sounds terrible.
And it's like it's 20 miles from Chicago, whatever. It's just but like McCaskey's saying like, "Oh, I wouldn't have even known I was in Indiana if I didn't see the signs." Shut up.
You
It's
knew
like
you
it's
were in
the
Indiana.
song. Yeah,
You
know
very clearly
and
know you're in Indiana. We
Hammond.
drove through
Don't
Hammond.
try to sell me on Hammond.
You know you're driving through Gary as well.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to watch Dana and Mikey sling in like PB&J's or I don't know, Kool-Aid covering a Bears game in Hammond, Indiana. It's going to be so
right
much
over
fun.
Send us.
Right over to the casino afterwards.
So heading to baseball, Paul Skeens the other night pulled from the game after just 65 pitches. The velo is down. Didn't hit 97 in his last start. This is a guy that came in defining his game, throwing 100. Meg, is this a big story or a non-story?
For me personally, I think it's a non-story just because Paul Skeens knew exactly what the rest of his life is already kind of laid out. He's with Livy. Livy's very successcessful.
That's a spin zone.
They're just
This
gonna,
is cope.
Yeah,
This is major cope,
they're just gonna
dude.
live together in happiness, and he's gonna go down with some great stats and
Does
as
she
an
want
LSU
to marry
legend.
a guy that doesn't throw 100?
Yeah,
I know. I mean,
She
true.
She also knew what she was getting into.
Doesn't work like it used to, Chief.
Yeah.
This is LSU spin zone.
She knew what she was getting into, like that picture of them on the beach where he's got a little bit of a belly. Like, we like to drink in Louisiana. She likes to drink. They all like to party.
Yeah, we're not gonna.
Meg, I'm with you, but this
the
is
guy
cope.
for a bad picture.
This is cope though. I mean, this is what Big T was doing yesterday. We're talking about pressure. He's like, how can you have pressure? It makes $100 million. Yeah, but we're talking about in the sport.
Yeah.
Like Paul Skeens is supposed to be the guy. Already got a Cy Young, incredible. I'd be concerned if I was a Pirates fan.
What if he's just hitting a point of regression? I mean, you can only be the greatest for so long, and then
Yeah.
you have all these other
But
pitchers
he's
around
25?
you. Yeah, but this could be his little lull. He works out, comes back stronger than ever, and then he just proves all the haters wrong.
That is
What
true.
about Aroldis Chapman, who's like 40 and still throwing 100?
106.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. This could just be
But
a
he's a
down
reliever.
year.
Yeah, he's a
I
reliever.
think it's August. It's dog days. It could just be like a guy's got a dead arm.
Yeah, they are
Also,
saying
the
there's
Pirates
no
are
like
dead.
help. There's
so
no like.
what's the point?
Yeah.
Like why go out there and throw your best stuff every time if your team can't give you run support? If
Also,
Kind of a brutal
throwing
year, though.
97 and being like, is something wrong? It's crazy.
Non-story.
Kind of a brutal year though for Pirates fans because they were actually pretty frisky and good for a while, and so to not have that line up with like Skeens being in Cy Young form, that kind of sucks. All right, next. Tua Tagovailoa, he's going to get the start for the Atlanta Falcons tonight. I don't know if there's ever been a bigger non-story in my entire life.
I can't believe this is even being brought up. I mean, who cares?
If I wanted to advocate for it, I would say that like the Falcons, we should potentially care about. They have Bijan Robinson,
Right.
who's maybe the best running back in the entire league. Kyle Pitts is now a kind of objective top 5 tight end. Like he finally made it.
Yeah.
Drake London's a great receiver. Who else did they bring in weapon-wise production that we were talking about? I think yesterday.
I'd be so disappointed if I were any of those guys being like, yeah, Tua is throwing to me, or is he throwing to me?
You got Tua, and then it's
the other
Penix,
lefty.
who's still hurt.
Dude, if he gets
And they got Zachariah Branch now, one of the most exciting
The
young.
D2 kid.
No, he's a guy that he started at USC, went to Georgia. He did best at Georgia, but he never quite attained the form that you thought he would, but he's just like a freak of an athlete. The point is they have weapons everywhere, but there's just no faith in Tua or Michael Penix.
If he gets hit in the head one more time, his career's over.
He's got a little bit of Billy Bob in him.
He's got slushy upstairs.
Yeah, you
He
can't
could just
have
open
that
his
as-
mouth and just fill up a cup with his brains.
Jeez.
Is that not accurate? I mean, I'm just call a spade a spade.
I mean, you call there's a phrase that we now say like Tua hands.
Yeah.
And we all know what we're talking about. All right.
Non-story. I mean, listen, I don't know what the Falcons are doing. Like, what has their plan been for the last 3 years?
So I think, in my opinion, they took a shot on Penix that it just hasn't quite worked. But
Taking him 8th.
in my opinion, there are like a few what I call John the Baptist teams where they appear to be getting all of their ducks in a row and setting themselves up for the savior quarterback. Like, look at Cleveland. They've drafted very well offensively, defensively on both lines at the skill positions. Arizona going to Jeremiah Love. It's what Oakland did last year, taking Ashton Genty and okay, we might suck, and they wanted it to go better, but okay, we're improving everywhere else. So when the guy shows up, we'll be ready. That feels like Atlanta, and everybody's eyes appear to be at this next quarterback
I feel like
class.
they're not, because of all that, they're not going to be bad enough to get one of those top guys.
Cleveland already
Maybe so.
has their savior quarterback, so they don't have to worry about that.
Shadussy.
Yeah. They're
By,
good.
by the way, we didn't talk about Jordan Love at all. He's unbelievable.
Yeah. Oh, you're just talking about from last night. Yeah, I mean, I guess it's because at this point,
Offensive Rookie of the Year.
Jeremiah.
Oh,
Wait, who did I say?
Jordan Love.
Oh, sorry.
I was so confused.
Sorry.
I was like,
Jeremiah
I mean,
Love.
sure,
My bad,
Jordan
my
Love's
bad,
like
my
really.
bad, my bad.
Jordan Love's a really good quarterback.
Hand up. Jeremiah Love. Sorry, we didn't
We
talk
all
about
just
him.
went with it. We're like, oh, he did look good.
Three of five.
Jeremiah Love. Sorry.
Yeah, he was incredible.
He did look awesome.
The spin move, the hurdle.
You know who he looked like to me? A young AP. I don't know about
Quite the billing to live up to, but if anybody could, I mean, Love was freakish last year. Finally, we got some college football rule changes, guys.
A lot of targeting stuff?
Yeah, they've overhauled the targeting rules. So, when you get your first targeting of the year, you will not be suspended from any part of the next game, even if it happens in the second half. So remember, it's been that weird rule of having you're suspended. That's not happening anymore.
I like that.
If it's your first, you're still ejected from the game, but it's your first, you're not going to miss any additional time. If it's your second targeting of the year, you get suspended for the first half of the next game on top of getting ejected. And if it's your third, then you get suspended for the entirety of the next game on top of getting ejected. I'd say, this is good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Wait, so if you get your second targeting in the first half,
No.
you're just sitting out.
If you get a targeting, you're out that game. You're immediately ejected. If it gets confirmed as targeting, you're ejected no matter what.
This is all for the next game.
But if it's your first, you don't miss any additional time.
Which
Second,
makes so
you miss
much
first
more
half.
sense.
Third, you miss an entire game.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
agree.
it just makes
I like
more
it.
sense.
There was nothing more kind of pointless or minutia filled than getting a second half targeting and having to miss the first half
Yeah.
for like no
Yeah.
arbitrary reason.
Yeah.
Especially if
the
it
next
happened in like the first kickoff.
Like you're getting punished for like a week's worth of, basically you're going back to practice for an entire week, and then you go back and you're like, well, I gotta sit out from my punishment from the game before.
And it's just like arbitrary. Like in order to sit out the whole game, I just can't play in the first half. But
Now,
then
is
after
there
halftime, allowed
any
in.
type of appeal system for these? Because there's nothing worse than when a guy gets kicked out and it's clearly like not.
Yeah.
It's a bad call.
Like the receiver goes down, lowers his head late.
Yeah, it's like an accidental targeting or something.
So-
and they still are.
I think for like the subsequent, like the second and third when you could miss time, I think there is an appeal process. But also I felt like they did a much better job last year of getting in the booth and like really confirming intent.
Yeah.
Right.
Not going by pure letter of the law, like did he accidentally stumble into something, but like did he intend to? And so I thought they called it pretty good last year. But yeah, this is not the biggest story, but this is a good rule change.
Good rule
Yeah, I
change.
agree.
This is something you can get behind. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool, guys. 5 wide here in the studio. as we finish off a series that we've been doing all summer long, the Summer Sandwich Series, okay? We took all of our favorite sandwiches, and by hook or by crook, emphasis on the latter when they eliminated the po' boy, but by hook or by crook, we have a Final Four, guys, the Smash or Pass Final Four. Here's how we got here. The breadbasket region, Deli Italian really cruising through. Cuban the only pseudo upset on the list here, but it would not stay all chalk. Let's get to the next bracket here. It's the deep fryer and smoker region, chicken cutlet.
Oh boy.
The 7 seed. The 7 seed emerging a 7 and 5. 7 seed and a 5 seed in the Elite 8. That was crazy. So far we have 2 of our finalists. What happened in the others?
Yeah.
Philly cheesesteak was no problem. Smashed the competition. Probably the biggest winner we've had thus far. There's the flat top. And then finally, the delicatessen. Where again, a 4 and a 6 make it through. BLT getting upset by ham and cheese first round. Absolutely insane. But French dip reigns supreme. So now, guys, it's time. We're here. It's the Final Four of Smash or Pass.
Oh, yeah!
Look at this, guys. Look at this.
Yeah!
I had a lot
Bring
of fun
'em
last
in.
week, and it was
Bring 'em in,
fantastic.
Carson.
Bring 'em in, bud.
Sandwiches.
Yeah.
Oh, no. Carson.
This guy, man.
Oh.
This
If
guy-
anybody else did that,
Unbelievable.
Carson would be losing his mind for the record. That said, we have had a slight miscommunication. We were supposed to have French dips. Whatever. Guys, I'm trying to give the restaurant some grace here. But we ordered French dips. They sent us turkey clubs.
That's okay.
So it's okay. It's okay. And
8 in the
again,
morning.
Because also, like, we're not judging these based on these sandwiches specifically. Because
Right.
you know you're going to be all
Yeah.
I know,
pornographic
very-
about your Cooper Sharp cheese and whatnot.
And the bread.
But tasting them may help to inform us a little bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
So should we start with Deli
salivating.
Italian and chicken cutlet?
Yeah, I think
Is that the matchup?
That's the matchup. Look,
Oh, I didn't even
Italian and cutlet, and we got
Oh,
cheesesteak
okay.
Also, I'm happy to.
Oh,
sit
this
in
is
for
this
Max.
is this is.
Yes, and we have some video for Max, guys. Everybody here, grab one of each.
Okay.
Start to.
Hey,
Yeah, I'm
will you
gonna
hand me-
go in for the
hand me
cutlet.
little guys.
Go in for the cutlet here.
Thank you.
Yeah, go to Max while we're tasting. My God, that's good.
First off, we have the Italian hoagie and the chicken cutlet sandwich. You've heard me talk about both of these sandwiches at length in the past couple of weeks. Unfortunately, we're going to have to go. The chicken cutlet sandwich is going home. I love a chicken cutlet sandwich, but the Italian hoagie has so many so many different iterations of it that make it so delicious. You got a good quality olive oil on there, balsamic that tastes so sweet it's like candy, fresh mozzarella and some. Then you have some provolone and some others. I love them both.
Okay. All right. I'm sorry, y'all. Everybody's eating here. There's mayonnaise everywhere. Megan's got sauce all over her pants. I do as
got it
well.
all.
I already had a jarred stain on there. All right. Does anybody have a strong opinion here?
I do.
And Max went Deli Italian, obviously.
I think sorry, Megan. I
No,
think
go ahead,
I think
Dana.
the answer is Deli Italian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it.
Really? To a man?
You can't beat this.
See, I think the cutlet's better. And not even just in this sandwich. I just think I like.
The cheese, like the different
little bit of
flavors of
fried.
the meats, the coldness of like the crunch.
It's just the classic, like you throw the ball down the middle and the batter's swinging and missing. It's a good fastball.
God, the
got
fried
everything,
chicken, though,
too.
dude.
It's a Paul Skeens 96 mile an hour.
Like it's not reaching 100, but it's safe and it's the play that you'll never be dissatisfied with unless you get like a bad tomato or something.
I would go chicken cutlet.
I know I'm a mess.
But I'm constantly in the minority here. So Deli Italian, clean sweet.
Deli Italian.
Megan.
I'm saving that one. Deli Italian's the best. It looks like it shouldn't work. There's so much going on. All the things come together perfectly.
All right, so Deli Italian moving on through. Now, Bill, clean sweep now. Everybody grab yourself a cheesesteak.
Also, if it doesn't hit the floor, it's gonna hit my pants. So it's one or the other, and I'm choosing the floor.
Nah, just put it on the floor. We can make. Yeah, let's go to Max.
Carson already put everything on the floor anyway.
Max, our sandwich expert, he's gonna weigh in on Philly cheesesteak versus French
Oh,
dip
God,
while we
this is
eat a
gonna
little
get
bit. Mute our mics.
I know his answer.
Kind of similar sandwiches. But it's just got to be the cheesesteak. And you knew I was going to say the cheesesteak. The cheesesteak is the perfect treat. The perfect treat of a sandwich. And it's something that, when done right, is one of the best bites you'll ever have in your life. And that's why the cheesesteak is going down as the winner. I've talked about it before. I'll say it again. It's something that you look forward to. I haven't had a good one in quite some time now because I haven't been to Philly in a couple months. But when I go home, I'm going home for a cheesesteak. A real cheesesteak with the crusty bread and the cheese that is so melty that it feels like it's sauce. A tender, thinly sliced steak that just combines with every single bite that you have of the perfect ratio between bread, meat, cheese, delectableness, which isn't a word, but I'm using it. The cheesesteak is the winner, and you knew the cheesesteak was going to be the winner.
All right, so Max, obviously, he's from Philly, but to me, I don't think French dip should have been here in the first place. It needs an au jus to drip. Yeah, it needs an au jus to dip in. It's not like it can't stand on its own two legs.
The answer is cheesesteak.
Yeah, and this isn't, this is a okay cheesesteak, sure, and like that tastes delicious.
Yeah. This is like cubed up cheesesteak with not the best seeded roll, but without a doubt, it's cheesesteak.
All right.
Yeah, I would go cheesesteak as well. I do love a French dip, but I think there's a time and place for both.
Right.
And I think that the Philly probably wins out.
You could have a cheesesteak every day of the week. French dip, you probably couldn't.
Yeah, you would.
No, hell no.
You would look like that picture that
Yes.
been passed around.
Yes.
Then again, every day of the week, cheesesteak would be pretty. That's pretty crazy as well.
If I know my boy Kadek, I know he could have it every day.
Now that is interesting because like deli Italian, you actually could eat every day.
Yeah.
Chicken cutlet. Okay, so here we go. Deli Italian versus Philly cheesesteak. A battle of the one seeds. The only two one seeds to make it through their brackets.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
All right. Here's my take.
Need another bite of this.
I feel like
Deli Italian.
it's really hard to mess up a deli Italian. I feel like even like this cheesesteak, even though it's not the best, it's good.
You're not cooking anything.
Yeah, I feel like deli Italian just you can't really mess it up.
What if I were to
Italian
frame
travels.
it though? What would I frame it? What if we so how are we framing it? Are we saying like, again, what has more margin of error? What can be overall better no matter where you're going? Or are we saying, okay, if they're both at their absolute peak?
I don't think you
Who's
can do
winning?
absolute peak. I think you have to think about.
We've been doing absolute peak the whole time.
We kind of have been doing
Yeah, I
peak.
guess you're right. But now it's coming down to the wire and like who should be the winner. And again, like I like the no cook factor. I like no matter where you go, you're going.
You don't have to melt.
Yeah, the deli Italian, no matter where you go, is basically it has the same ingredients. You know what to expect. Like it's not gonna ever be like terrible unless it's like hot and like rotten. I don't know, but like a Philly. I don't know. I'm just like
Hey, give me a hot run.
It's cheesesteak. At the peak, it's cheesesteak from Angelo's in Philly without a shadow of a doubt.
If I'm going to treat this competition as I have two sandwiches in front of me, which one am I going to pick up and eat?
Oh, that's that's the way to play it,
okay,
Dana.
then-
The answer
Right
is
there.
Well, then my answer would be cheesesteak. I'm going off of variables and factors here.
So Megan, are you flipping officially?
Oh man, it's so hard because I do.
Chief, where are you at?
I'm kind of deciding between if I'm going to have one every day, it's deli Italian. If it's a death row meal, I'm probably going cheesesteak.
You know
Okay.
what? I think I'm gonna.
Death row.
I
So
think
then
I'm
if
gonna.
it's death row, then I got to go cheesesteak.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Who could have seen it coming? Who could have seen it coming? Shout out to Philly Cheesesteak. Shout out to production. Thank you for the restaurants for supplying us with these delicious sandwiches here on a Friday. Congratulations to all of the Philly scumbags out there.
Look at this floor.
Your sandwich, this is terrible. Carson, get the vacuum cleaner out.
I made a mess.
Guys, your sandwich, all you Philinites, Philadelphians, you Philistines, your sandwich has been named the #1 sandwich in America by the
Congrats.
Smash or Pass crew. That's right.
Congratulations.
Shout out to the big boys. Great work, guys, all around. All right, coming up next, we got Bruce Feldman of The Athletic. This man knows college football inside out. He just released a freaks list. We'll get into that with him. We got Brock Huard coming on after that. So we're about to get into a lot of great football talk here on WUB. Don't go anywhere. What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. I'm very full.
Yeah.
I just inhaled those sandwiches. This is my first ever chicken cutlet sandwich.
I think it's the cutlet.
To me, the best sandwich we just ate was the cutlet.
Yeah, the
Like
one
with a
we
bullet.
just ate, yes.
Yeah.
Cheesesteak was great, but it is pretty heavy. The deli Italian was a little, we kind of hardened by the time we got it.
Hardened?
A little bit.
The bread?
Yeah. A little
Stale.
Dare I say, bread is like the most important. I think behind the meats is the most important part of
It's
this.
the
Any
vehicle.
sandwich.
So you just
It's
don't
the
like the
vehicle, yeah. it's
Profound.
very
Wait, did you hear Jeremy? Did Jeremy say that in your ear? Oh my God. Jeremy just came
know
in
what?
my ear.
No.
Jeremy
I'm
came in
saying
my
this-
ear alone and he just said, no, Kadick. Just yelled it. He was so infuriated with you, thinking you had made a profound
I mean,
point
I guess the only
with
other
your
thing
bread
is
take.
cheese.
Okay, that was sparing
Maybe
dumb,
lettuce.
because there's not much else.
In my
I'm saying
opinion,
bread is the most important part.
when we're talking football,
The ball.
my take is that quarterback is the most important position on the field.
Oh,
I think that's what really separates the good teams from the bad. Speaking of, Ben Johnson, Chief, getting out here and saying he wants the Bears to have the highest scoring offense ever. Not just be good, not be great. No, thinks they can be the highest ever. I don't want to play with something here. Who do you think has a better chance of cracking this list? Look at this. These are the most successful offenses of all time. Of course, I'm still burping upstairs, so I apologize. The 2013 Broncos offense, Peyton Manning, the stats were dummy. That was, I think,
That
a
was a
50 touchdown
ridiculous
year.
year.
Insanity. They end up losing to the Seahawks in that Super Bowl.
Brady to Moss.
07 Patriots. That was Brady Moss, right? That was the 18-0 year.
Welker.
2018 Chiefs. How the mighty have fallen there. The Chiefs used to be so explosive, so exciting.
Did the Chiefs win the Super Bowl that year? Because otherwise, none of those teams won the Super Bowl, right?
Yeah. 11 Packers.
Good
Now that was the
observation,
15-1 Packers. Wait, hold on. Is 12 Patriots?
No.
Is that? Oh, 11 Packers did win the Super Bowl.
I thought they won.
No,
No, they
no.
won it.
They
That
were
was the year after.
they were 15-1.
Yeah.
They didn't win it.
Patriots didn't.
Wait, which Patriots team was 18-0?
That was 07.
That was 07. Okay. What was 2012 Patriots?
That was the year after the.
So none of those
they
teams
lost
won
to
the
the
Super
Giants.
Bowl, so I'm out on this. Ben Johnson wants to have the best offense.
Yeah, hell yeah. Does not want him to have it. Now, they didn't make the graphic, but another team tied at 34.8 points a game. The 98 Vikings, one of the most exciting teams that has ever
NFC
taken a football
championship.
field. Yeah, lose to the Falcons,
Yeah.
another 15-1 team.
Right.
Randy Moss, Chris Carter,
Jake
Dante
Reed.
Culpepper.
Who was the little running back?
I don't remember the running back. I only
Robert
remember.
Smith?
Maybe so. That sounds right.
Okay.
I only remember that on like NFL Blitz 98 or 99, one or the other. God, that was just Culpepper, Moss, and Carter were crazy.
Oh, I think it was Randall Cunningham.
Oh, it was Randall Cunningham.
Yeah.
You're right. No, you're
Yeah.
right. It was Cunningham in 98, and then
Yeah.
Culpepper came
Later.
after.
Yeah.
But yes, it was old. It was
Yeah.
Randall
Just
Cunningham
go
having
routes.
like a Michael Vick with the Eagles MVP type of year. All right. So
let me ask.
Yeah.
Is this, I mean, has defenses just gotten that much better? Has offenses kind of plateaued? Like, there hasn't been, since the 18 Chiefs, like a very, very high-powered, high-scoring offense.
We are, for all the talk of how football is so offensively driven, all that
Right.
other stuff, right now in the NFL meta, it has rubber banded back to defense.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, go look at the numbers last year. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of too high coverages that defensive coordinators have figured out they're still able to stop the run despite playing too high with some personnel stuff. So, yeah, it seems like right now defense is punching back again.
Right.
But Ben Johnson,
Yeah.
Sean McVay, they're going to try to change that.
I also feel like this, in that window here, this is like a 10-year window. That's when you really start to have like more spread, and then defenses have adjusted
Yes,
to have
yes.
like that nickel kind of hybrid where that's become base. So it's like the defenses might have caught up to this
Yeah.
philosophy.
So this is what I love about the NFL meta. It's all the kind of like you're saying punches and counter punches. So like the college game, infected the NFL. RPOs spread, like you said. We see these numbers. the defenses bounce back. They can now defend that stuff. But now the best offenses are the ones that are going big again. Right? It's going back the other way. A lot of 13 personnel.
Yeah.
Let's put 3 tight ends on the field.
Yeah.
Let's create mismatches that where we can take advantage of our size if we want to throw the ball, but then also we're bigger and we can run the ball.
And I think that 12 Patriots team was the Gronk Hernandez. So like they had kind of brought the 2 tight end back.
So they were a bit ahead of the curve there as well.
Yeah.
All right now, let's go to one of my favorite guys. I've been talking to him for years now. Author of Meat Market, as well as many other books. A man who writes for The Athletic. He does his Freaks List every year. It just dropped. It's amazing. It's Bruce Feldman. Bruce, what's up, babe? How are we doing today? Great to talk to you again, man.
What's up, T-Bob? You can
doing
tell
well.
them how I wrote about you when you were a big high school recruit somewhere at a really fancy private school in Georgia.
Yeah. That was the Meat
sense.
Market book. I think he came out to cover me at an LSU camp where I got absolutely demolished by Drake Nevis and started crying a little bit, and they put that in the book. So, but it was cool. It was cool to be mentioned at the time, for sure, Bruce. All right. You just dropped your Freaks List. Explain what that is real quick for everybody, the uninitiated.
Yeah, so for 20 plus years, dating back to my early days at ESPN, I was doing a college football blog, looking for stuff to write about in the dead of the off season, and had an idea. There's always these guys you hear about, like there's one at every program or maybe every couple of years at a program who are these freak athletes. It may be a 320-pound defensive tackle who can do backflips. It can be a wide receiver who can bench press like twice his body weight. Just whatever it was. I was trying to find 10 of them. And over time, now it's grown to be 101. It's at all levels of college football. And it's been really cool just because not only have like NFL scouts and draft people really kind of got into it, but also, the strength coaches who are like kind of the lifeblood of the training programs, they've bought in. So it's been a kind of fun passion project. It takes probably about 3 months. Like you said, it just dropped a few days ago. And so it's always kind of a big sigh of relief once it's there, because it means the season's right around the corner.
Yep. So I want to get into some of the names on the list, and let's start with Nick Harbor. And this is the thing about the Freaks List. Like, some of the names you're going to recognize. Some are maybe going to be guys that are not household names, but this is Harbor's 3rd time being number 1 on this list in 4 years. What is it that puts him there? And it seemed like last year he started to crack the actual on-field success. Like, do you think he blows up this year?
Well, for Shane Beamer's sake, he better. What it is about him is he is like this insane combination of size and speed. He's a legit track guy. He was running 10, 100 meters. He got there. He is the crazy thing about him, for context sake, right? Megatron Calvin Johnson, one of the all-time great football players and receivers ever. Nick Harbor is actually an inch taller, and he's even faster.
Good
Calvin
God.
Johnson was 6'5", 235, and ran a 4.35 40 at the combine. This guy is faster. I mean, he runs almost 24 miles per hour, which is remarkable. 6'6", long arms, almost 240 pounds now. 5% body fat. He's been a track guy for a lot of the off season in past years. He's been more focused on developing as a football player. I mean, like you said, T-Bob, he got better last year. Now they need him to take another big step to help Lenora Sellers out and get back to where, South Carolina was a top 25 team.
Bruce, another wide receiver, Jeremiah Smith. Obviously a lot of production on the field, but we don't see a lot of, what he does in the weight room, stuff like that. Talk about him and how he was, number 2 on your list.
Yeah, he was number 1 last year. I mean, the comparison for him is Andre Johnson, Pro Football Hall of Famer, super strong track guy out of Miami. But what's different about Jeremiah was Andre Johnson wasn't that way when he first got to Miami. He redshirted. It took him a bit. Jeremiah Smith was a grown man, probably more impressive than any receiver had coming out of Ohio State when he got there. 6'3.5", almost 225 pounds, runs 23.5 miles per hour. Broad jumps 11 feet. These are all like, remember when Sonny Styles blew up the combine, a few months back? That's what Jeremiah Smith will do if he decides he needs to do those things and tests, because he'll probably be the 1st or 2nd pick in the draft. The other amazing thing to me is this is a program that has a ton of fast guys, and a lot of them are 40 pounds lighter. when they did their 10-yard splits, he was the fastest of anybody at Ohio State, 1.44 seconds. Anything under like 1.5, 1.52 is blazing fast. So to be that fast, that big, plus on top of it, he's that detailed, that physical, that talented. He's just a remarkable all-around athlete.
Talk to us about the Oregon defensive lineman, Amari Washington. There's a video of him squatting 855 pounds. 855 pounds.
I know, and Dan Lanning told me he was like, he could do more. We just, you're plenty strong enough.
We're out of weights.
Risk. Crazy, right? You have a guy who's 330 pounds, runs almost 21 miles per hour. He vertical jumps 35 inches.
35?
I mean, like when they sent me his numbers, he was in top 5 last year. When they sent me his numbers last year, when Lanning texted me, I was like, did like a triple take, because if he was 230 pounds doing the stuff he's doing in terms of like the jump, the speed, top end speed, that'd be like, yeah, that's impressive. He was doing it last year. He was like 337. This year he's almost 330. Again, you see what he's doing in the weight room. That is a ton of plates on the bar. And again, he could have done more, Lanning said.
And again, that is an Oregon defensive line that is probably the best in the entire country. And so that's a name, like, again, he's like a Jeremiah Smith, very productive. That's a name you need to know. Bruce, my guy Mikey, he has a bit of a bone to pick with you here.
Freshman year, Bruce, all I wanted was to be on. I played at Indiana. All I wanted was to be on your list. Freshman year, obviously.
So he's going to give you the measurables. And does he crack the top 100 here, Bruce?
I didn't have any of the on-field production. I know that probably feeds into it a little bit. I was about 6'4", 315.
Okay.
Those are my measurements.
Okay.
405 hang clean, which I thought was pretty good.
Yeah,
That
pretty
is really
good.
So Amari, he was doing the hand supported squat.
Yeah, the Hatfield squat.
Yeah, I did 645 on that.
Okay, pretty damn
And
good.
I had a 405 bench, 30-inch vertical, 9-inch broad jump, or 9-foot broad jump.
That's impressive.
When
You came
I
in
cracked
as a
it, when I got
As a
on,
freshman, that is true. As a freshman, that's crazy.
You would. Here's the thing I wonder about. Like, so what I found out
all I
about
wanted.
over the last few years is there'll be a guy, you'll either hear about him now from like the NIL agent who will pitch me and say what the numbers are, or a parent, or maybe the player themselves. And then I'll ask like the strength coach, or I'll ask the head coach if I know him, text with him, be like, hey, so-and-so, I heard he did this. What do you think? And then they'll be like, that guy hasn't really done anything yet. We don't want to put him out there. Maybe it's a character issue that they don't want to promote. I'm not saying somebody stabbed you in the back in Bloomington. It's possible, though.
Maybe he had a couple too many beers off the field.
This is prior to my suspension.
This kid's a chuckle.
This is prior to my suspension.
All right, Bruce, let's look at more of just, because Freaks List Awesome, guys. Again, go read it. There's a million cool athletes that you've, like a ton that you've never heard of that'll blow your mind. But let's talk about on the field this year. It does seem like there's a very exciting kind of top of the hierarchy with the teams that we believe to be definitely capable of winning national championship, be it like Texas, Oregon, Ohio State. What is a team that you think is capable that has more of a dark horse sort of bent to it?
It's actually, I hate that you asked me the question, but I think LSU is lurking there, right? You got a quarterback who led his team to the playoff. I wasn't doing it for your benefit, but like they have everything they need, right? So
Tigers.
the one thing I'm curious about, like, right, last year Lane Kiffin had a big time running back. They ran the heck out of it. It wasn't just Trinidad Chambliss. That history, they've always had elite running backs. I don't know, is Harlem Berry going to really step up? Was a big recruit, but you look at the players they have, I think he's got coordinators on both sides who are really good. The other thing is, like, I didn't have, just touching back on Freaks List for a second.
Yeah.
LSU took a minute to get back to me, so I updated it like yesterday, but there was some other guys I asked about. There's like 3 freaky defensive linemen who are freshmen that are in there that I think are going to make a big impact, right? And so, like their defense hadn't been that good under Brian Kelly. That was obviously lagging. Blake Baker does a good job. I think they're a dangerous team, because of all the guys they added in the portal. They have a ton of speed. Again, Sam Levitt, quarterback, who's led a team to a playoff when he was at ASU. I'm not predicting that they're going to win it, but they, to me, are like the dark horse to watch that's lurking around like 10 to 15 spot. Everyone's going to talk about Georgia and Arch at Texas coming out of the SEC. I wouldn't sleep on LSU.
Yeah, it's interesting, Bruce. Coach O's been kind of hyping up that D-line as well, but at running back, I'm hearing that Dylan Jones, the Wisconsin transfer, may be in the running to be the starter there. Somebody learned just a couple of days ago. So be on the lookout maybe for him if they're going to be one of your dark horse teams. So you're someone who's also been very tied in with LSU through the years. You kind of know the drama in that program inside and out. What are your thoughts on the reports yesterday that Jayden Daniels comes out and says, cease and desist, don't use my NIL, give me your copy of the Heisman Trophy. I'm upset that you've given my number to DJ Pickett.
Yeah, that was a kind of nobody looks good in this story, right? I think a lot of people are like, oh, you know what? Because there's always been past stories of like maybe Jayden's mom being like, kind of leaning into some of this stuff, and it feels petty. You talk to people who've been at LSU for a long time, know that place. They're like, well, if you're going to retire a jersey, the player has to have graduated from LSU. I think he graduated from ASU and not LSU. And how long have you been away from the program before they do that? If I'm an LSU fan, I'm like, hey, thanks, Jayden. You had an amazing, couple of years there. Obviously, you weren't Joe Burrow, who led us to a national title and was like a generational, all-time great. But the guy did win a Heisman. You hope that they could sort this out. You feel kind of bad that DJ Pickett has kind of gotten thrown in the middle of this too. And Brian Kelly, who was supposedly made the promise, he's now doing TV. He's no longer there. So it's just one of these stories that I think makes everybody look kind of petty.
Chief, talk to Bruce about your Irish.
Yeah, Notre Dame, T-Bob left them off as a potential.
No. They're in that group. They're in that group,
about
Chief.
LSU. No,
they're in that group.
Yeah. I feel like they are not usually represented on your freaks list. They don't have the high-end athletes, and that's become a trend. Excuse me, we were eating sandwiches a second ago. Who for Notre Dame has broken into that list? And overall, do you think the team now can compete with the Ohio States and the SEC schools with this class under Marcus Freeman?
Yeah, it's a good point, because for years, Notre Dame, I feel like, was best known for really good offensive linemen, really good tight ends. And then all of a sudden, it was pre-Marcus Freeman. You'd have like Kyle Hamilton. You obviously had Jeremiah Love. We've had a bunch of guys this year. There's 4 Notre Dame players on the freaks list. They're all linemen or, bigger players, but are really athletic. We know Leonard Moore might be the best defensive player in the country. He's a athletic, big cornerback who 5 picks. I mean, he's going to get a big showcase game when they play the rematch against Miami and Malachi Toney. So we'll see how that goes. I think what has changed is, Brian Kelly did a really good job. Marcus Freeman has done an even better job of resonating with top level athletes. And I feel like, so you have a guy like CJ Carr, who's a legit Heisman candidate. He may not put up the huge passing numbers, because I think their offense is not quite built to do that, but I think they're really good on both lines. You saw what they've upgraded, especially on defense, the D linemen they've added. And I think this is a team that should be right there. I mean, the schedule is weird in that they play Miami and South Bend. They play a good BYU team, and they play SMU, and then the rest of it feels, really watered down. And obviously there's no conference title game, but they were one of the best teams in the country. They obviously lost to Miami in a close game, lost to, real close game to A&M, and that was it, right? But I think that Freeman's done a really good job. I think he's put together a heck of a staff. I mean, to me, they're in it. Like, if you ask me right now, who would I think would be the 3 safest picks, I think, to make a run at a title, outside of like the dark horse I was talking before, would be really like Notre Dame, really like Oregon, and also really like Texas, who I felt like was a year away last year. And I feel like they've made some really good additions. And to me, that's kind of where the sweet spot is. Not saying that somebody can't come off the radar a little bit out of that group, but I just feel like Notre Dame is built for this year to make a run at the national title.
Bruce, similar question, but with Indiana, because, under Coach Signetti, he likes to bring in a lot of guys who have proven production or lower level guys from JMU, things like that, who may not be the biggest, strongest freaks out there, but they get on the field and it's just production. What do you see, coming out of Indiana, maybe freaks list or just in general with, how they will go throughout the season?
Yeah, I think it was interesting how he trusts his evaluation as much as any person in football, right? You see what he made an interesting move, I thought, to go say, hey, you know what? Mendoza's younger brother's been with us. He's got ability. He's played some mop-up duty or whatever. It's like, no, I'm going to go take a guy who's played a lot in Josh Hoover. Has done some good things, good arm talent, maybe makes some questionable decisions and turns it over at times, but has played a lot of football. And I think he has this arc where, okay, the guy, and this was like Fernando last year, the guy was like, he's okay in spring. And then in the beginning, remember, I know, like the Old Dominion game wasn't like great. And then I think there's something to how he sees how guys get put into like the adversity piece, because we saw Fernando come back all the time. And, in key moments, he makes a mistake and, throws a pick, and then the next drive he leads them to a touchdown. Yeah. And you see that. I think what's really, impressive about them is it is an older team. It's now an even older team because they added 2 really experienced defensive linemen who are really good players. Yeah. You put that with Tyreek Tucker. You put that with Mario Landino, who are like all-American caliber guys. Anyway, you got a really good group of linebackers. And I think you've got an experienced front, right? So all those pieces, plus you add it to Charlie Becker, who's like a freaks list caliber, athlete. You add in Turbo Richard, a running back. They run the football well. I think they're, for anybody who feels like they're a fluke, I don't think you get what he has done there. Right. And I think you're not giving him enough credit, not to mention, they went toe-to-toe and they bullied a lot of teams last year. Really good, talented teams with more high-ranked recruits. But as you guys know, once you get into college football, who was a 5-star and who was a 2-star doesn't matter. If anything, that puts the chip on the shoulder of the 2 and 3 stars, and the 5-star guys are battling off the entitlement. And I think that's where, they kind of have the secret sauce right now.
Yep.
All right, Bruce, we've talked about individual freaks. We've talked about dark horses. But who's going to win the national championship?
Yeah.
Man, if you pin me down right now, I would lean into one of those 3 teams, Oregon, Notre Dame, or Texas. I feel like this might be the Irish's year because there's something to the narrative to me about they didn't play last year. They decided to opt out of basically the bowl season. And, I think CJ Carr, he looked really good against Miami. It's in a tough place to play. Those are like 2 werewolves coming off the edge that Miami had getting after him. He still played well, right? I think he's capable and ready to lead them to a national title. I know they lost 2 first-round running backs, but they've got good talent in the backfield. I think they've upgraded a little bit at receiver in terms of athleticism, get some guys back. And I just think they've gotten so good on defense. And I don't think Marcus Freeman gets enough credit for the guys he's put around him. And I just feel like there's a presence there. Again, the schedule is not great. They're probably, I don't know if they can afford more than 1 loss, given who they play, but I don't think they will. I think they're going to roll right through. I think they will be the team that last year we saw 16-0. I guess they would be 15-0 because there's no conference title game. But I would bet on the Irish right now.
There you go, Chief Bruce. Thank you so much, brother. You're the man.
My pleasure, guys.
Thanks,
Great
Bruce.
seeing you.
College football insider, has been forever reporter, excellent author.
Smartest guy we've had.
Best guy we've had.
Yep.
Except for not putting me on the freeze.
Sneaky great voice. Sneaky great voice as
I
well. Yeah, got that kind of gravelly baritone, very manly. Coming up next, let's talk to another man's man, Brock Huard. Talk a little maybe Washington Big Ten, talk a little Seahawks, defending Super Bowl champs. Brock's a good friend of the show. We'll talk to him next here on Wub. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. There it is, guys. Go vote on the poll. We just put it up. Retweeting it. Vote on our Summer Table Series finale.
Interesting.
What's better, deli Italian or Philly Chista?
Interesting.
Guys, I just remembered something. This is the biggest news since the Jelly Roll divorce. Diary of a Polarizing Figure dropped today. Hello? Anyone? Anyone?
Pat McAfee's.
The Pat McAfee album. The country album. You haven't been super excited for it?
Oh, I didn't mean to be disrespectful. I thought that was one of your nerdy.
Oh, yeah, same.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know you were like Lord of the Rings nerdy things.
Wow, way to
Don't
go,
worry, I'm
guys.
tapped in. I
So
got
here
you.
y'all are.
It does sound like it was some sort of history.
Like T-Bob,
Lord of the
weird,
Rings.
Damn.
Old English.
Yeah.
I guess y'all don't want to listen to Pat sing country songs, dude. Couldn't be me. Couldn't be me. Actually, real talk, John Baptiste did drop 2 albums today, too.
I don't know who that
That's very exciting. One of the best musical artists we got out there, Black Mozart, and I can't remember what the other one is. I've been listening to him. It's him, it's piano, it's wonderful. Now, a guy who's been a great friend of the show and is wonderful in his own right, Brock Huard. Brock, what's up, babe? How we doing this morning? Thank you for joining us again.
Yeah, not so wonderful when you're late. All right, I know radio, I know television. I'm sorry, this is on me.
Oh,
no
bro,
excuses.
Brock, come on,
Yeah,
dude, please stop. Let's start with something a bit controversial, and then maybe we get into some more fun stuff. The Terry and Arnold. So he gets cut from Detroit. The scandal's kind of crazy. The Seahawks bring him in. They say they do due diligence, and now they're planning on signing him. What's kind of the inside story there?
Yeah, I think there's a couple things going on. I think the fact that he's going to go right to the commissioner's exempt list kind of gives, to me, the Seahawks and John Schneider some cover. Like, hey, we like him, and guess what? 5 other teams liked him too. But he and his agent felt like this was the best fit for us, so he'll go on the commissioner's list. And then Roger and crew will decide when he's able to play through the legal proceedings and whatever unfolds over the weeks and months ahead with that. I don't think there's any expectation in Seattle this guy plays early. It may not even be, it may be a 10 or 12-week suspension. I mean, they don't know. But they're willing to take that risk. A couple other things. The guy that recruited him to Alabama, Carl Scott, is their secondary coach.
Okay.
Jalen Milroe, the third-string quarterback's his best buddy. He's got a cousin that plays professional women's soccer in Seattle.
Damn.
He's got just a bunch of touch points that's a long ways away from Tallahassee, and some of the roots that got him in trouble. So they feel like they're going to be the incubator and the best incubator to develop him. His agent, who's also Jalen's agent, I think felt the same way, and I think that's why he's a Seattle Seahawk today.
Brock, sticking with the Seahawks, Hard Knocks. It's been so fun watching.
So good.
It's one of my
good.
favorite series ever. Anything standing out to you so far heading into this season?
Yeah, I think a couple things. So we're the flagship of the Seahawks. Our station's been in that for decades, and we get a chance to sit with Mike every Monday morning after games, and that's valuable time.
Yeah.
Before the segment, after the segment, we've gotten a chance to just watch him grow. But now you're seeing him just bloom.
Yeah.
Right? Like, he went in the soil, new head coach, as he said, kind of awkward.
Yeah.
I think our first radio interview with him after Pete Carroll for 15 years, Salk and I were like, uh-oh.
Yeah, that's crazy. That is true. That's a hard act to follow with Pete.
Yes. Yeah, Pete was 101 in that way, man. He was such an open book. But, you just kind of like a seed, man, in soil, and you watch him grow, kind of like Leonard Williams in the garden, right? That whole thing. And now he's like blossoming in front of the whole country to watch. And you get a chance to see what John Schneider, what he knew in that interview process. If you remember, he had to wait for Mike. And there was a chance that the Ravens maybe even go to the Super Bowl, and he really had to wait. But he knew he was his guy for everything you're getting to see and the country's getting to see.
Hey, Brock, so we're seeing kind of on Hard Knocks a little bit of the energy after the Super Bowl win. And just want to see from your perspective outside of the show what you're seeing from training camp so far.
Yeah, these guys, man, they really genuinely do care about each other. And I think you see that, honestly, in some of the fights. Because you got a divided team, right? Those melees turn into issues, they turn into divides, they turn into cliques, they turn into guys that just aren't all on the same page together. So the reason this team won the Super Bowl last year, and if we've said this once on our show, we've said it a million times, they didn't win it because of their top stars. They didn't win it because of their top 10 players. They won it because they truly believe they're 70 strong. And, you go back through the season, there were characters in the story that were there early in the year that weren't even on the team late in the year. Part of that 70 that went through the climb. There were guys late in the year that really, came to the occasion and helped that final step and final journey. And so they believe that they've got something pretty special. And anybody who's been out to practice and probably one of the cooler anecdotes was Jay Glazer. And I was texting with him. He goes to all of them. He's like, I don't study football fronts, coverages. Come on. What I study is the chemistry, the charisma, just the connectedness. And there's very few places like Seattle. And I think that's a credit to John Schneider over a couple decades and all the people that are there in the continuity, on top of the human beings that they want on their team and are willing to move on from those that just don't fit that culture.
Yeah, John Schneider, we broke it down plenty on this show as well, but unquestioned, I think, should be considered the best GM right now. All the doubts on the moves 2 years ago, and you see what it led to last season. Yeah. And then there's the Charbonnet element in this, where you let Charbonnet walk when his stock is highest. You draft Jadarian Price. Would have been the early returns on, or excuse me, Kenneth Walker walk. Excuse me, I got my running backs mixed up. But so Walker out, Charbonnet's still there, but I'm hearing a lot of hype around Jadarian Price thus far.
Yeah, that's good. You know what that little slip points to? Just the
interchangeability.
There you go, buddy.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's too early for me to say that word, but they're interchangeable, right? The interchangeable parts that have been a part of like the whole Shanahan tree forever. And that's where Brian Fleury comes from San Francisco. And whether it's Charbonnet, whether it's Jadarian, whether it's Kim Walker, I think there's a belief and a feeling that actually what's much more important are the T-Bobs in front of them. Yeah. Moving people like Bray Zabel and Jalen Sundell and those guys did, making that thing happen. Jadarian, he's a unique dude. Like he has got like Hulk Hogan pythons, man. Like he is absolutely jacked up top. And it's almost, I don't want to say it's like totally imbalanced, but the lower half does not look like the upper half, or else he'd be like a 255-pound defensive end. Wow. So, he is absolutely stacked up top. He's got these kind of little subtleties. He reminds me of a guy that I was around in Seattle years ago. Play style different, but movement similar, and that's Sean Alexander. I know everybody watched Jeremiah Love last night, and I'm sorry, first carry, you're like, come on now. That's Adrian Peterson.
Okay, that's what Dana said. There you go, Dana. Hell yeah, dude.
Bro, like he just moves. I mean, he just moves and explodes like AP. God bless you. And I think Jadarian a little bit more like Sean Alexander. Banged up a little bit now. I think they'll have to, with lower body soreness, whatever, because they worked him through the offseason. It'll be a 1-2 punch, I think, with him and Charbonnet for sure.
Brock, I can't thank you enough. I mean, unfortunately, we have to go. There's a million things I could ask you about Tamon Williams, Washington, but T's and P's to all the Mariners fans out there, man. That franchise is a constant source of heartache. I'm sorry, dude.
Oh, it's been hard.
Yeah.
It's been really hard. But you know what? We're going to sweep the Astros this weekend, and we're going to be right back.
Yeah, hell yeah. That's
Doubtful.
Brock Huard.
Very doubtful.
She's an Astros fan. Co-host of Brock and Salt. Brock, you're the absolute man. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brock.
All right. See you guys.
Yeah, Brock and Salt. Great classic radio show. Flagship of the Seahawks. Brock's the absolute man. Coming up next, it's time for TBH and TBH. Yay! I get to do whatever the hell I want. All right, guys, welcome back. It's time for TBH with TBH. A man, his pride of 5. The long shadow of 9. A name, an image, a likeness. A mother, a trophy, a cease and desist. Come, listen to one of the more unexpected and self-inflicted stories to be sung. Commander Jayden Daniels has learned news that has stung. His number that to 5 is gone. Despite the fact that he won the Heisman It cannot be, he tells his mother. This disrespect, it cannot stand. They would never treat Joe Burrow this way in these lands. No one wears his 9, despite the fact it's been half a decade on. And yet, they give 5 to a freshman All-American? No, this will not stand. They will pay. I will make them give me back their trophy. I will tell them that my name is my own, and I will refuse to let my face be shown. The fans of LSU, upon hearing the news, were perplexed. Did it really matter? Is his ego so fragile to feel so vexed? And thus, the divide did begin to grow. Fans and their heroes turning from friend to foe. Legacy picked apart, lack of championships highlighted, all because the quarterback's ego felt so slighted. So let this be a lesson to any players young or old. Never let your hubris command control. Be grateful, be humble, and toe the line, and accept your fate. You will never be number 9.
Woo!
Yeah. There you go, guys.
Yeah, let's go
job,
team.
Little
Robert.
bard poem. So, to be honest, okay, that's very kind. You don't have to do that. You have to do that. Sick costume. This isn't my full wizard costume. This is just a cloak. But to be honest, my wife had the best take that I heard in this entire Jayden Daniels saga yesterday. Shout out Caitlin. When she said
Shout
that,
out
like,
Caitlin. Shout out
because like
Caitlin.
Shout out Caitlin.
none of these numbers are retired, right? Almost nobody retired. You put people in the Ring of Honor,
Well-
but their numbers stay in
Well,
circulation.
Shedeur
yes,
Sanders.
that is true. Shedeur got his
They
number
retired his
retired.
number a year after he left.
And like technically at LSU, Billy Cannon has his number retired, but like 9 is not retired. But this is what my wife pointed out, is like Joe Burrow is so badass that nobody would even attempt to wear number 9. Yeah.
It's
right?
respect.
Like it's like he set a bar so impossibly high that number is off limits. Not because you said it's off limits, but because he's that much of a badass.
Maybe 9 will be retired in Minnesota someday.
No.
I saw a tweet.
Yeah.
I saw a tweet about, like the senior night when Burrow came out with the EAUX jersey. Like, they're like, oh, they never treated Jayden like this. Well, duh.
Yeah,
Duh.
I mean, it's again, and see, this is the worst part about this story, is you end up, like I said, picking apart guys that are great, players that you love, and legacies that should be celebrated.
Maybe a little bit of stat padding.
Like Jayden Daniels was incredible. Don't get me wrong, he 3rd Heisman in school history. That said, they didn't win championships.
A year after I left, they gave my number to a walk-on.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, me too. Me too.
I was dead immediately.
Backup walk-on O-line. I'll say this: if Sam Levitt's a real one, he'll walk into Lane Kiffin's office today and demand 9.
No, he'll take 53.
Yeah, that'd be sick. That'd be sick. Bear Bogmeyer. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much. It's been another great week. We are on Wake Up Barstool. Thank you to the Friday crew, Chief, Megan, Mikey, Dana, Carson. Good job to you, even. Great job of the Telster. Thank you, AJ. Thank you all. We love you. We'll see you next time.
Shut up.